Hi, I'm John Spindler. I'm CEO of Capital Enterprise. Equity funding is where you exchange shares in your company in return for investment, in most cases cash investment. Equity funding is not for everyone. It's for companies that basically are ambitious, have particularly large growth ambitions and scalable opportunities, and seek investment because other forms of finance would not be suitable. Equity investment is risk capital. It's to fund those gaps until you basically scale and all the cost basically required to get there. And the return from the basically the investor or the equity owner basically comes when those shares in your company are able to be sold to a third party. There's many benefits of equity funding, especially for founders who believe that the only way for long-term competitive advantage for them in the market they're in is to get big and to get big quick. It is there also for people who need to basically invest heavily up front in the development of their technology and product before it's ready to basically go to market. And it is there for basically those who are in the intangible economy but are unable to basically access debt finance to fund securitized assets. I suppose the biggest drawback for most founders is its difficulty of acquiring it. It's pretty difficult. Only approximately less than 0.5% of companies in the UK basically ever are able to raise equity finance. So it's a difficulty of acquiring it. The second is obviously you are giving up shares in your company, and basically the shares often have conditions that you also are giving up some control in that company. And also you are basically focused, and you have a responsibility now, if you take equity, to make sure your company does grow and that your investor has an opportunity to realize basically their return by selling your shares to a third party at a future date. Series A funding, seed funding, even pre-seed funding, these are labels really, which you shouldn't be too caught up in. They are there as signals to basically show what stage your business is at and the risk basically associated with that stage. So pre-seed funding is money to basically get you founded, to build out your team, to get you to build out the first version of your product. Sometimes we call that a minimal viable product. Seed funding is for you to be funded up front so you can make investments to basically get to what we call product market fit. So a position where it's possible to demonstrate and externally validate that your product and technology works, it delivers value, it's approaching to be best in class, that you have a proven way of acquiring customers, of serving customers, of basically delighting customers, of keeping customers, using your product, and you have a business model that basically makes money, and most importantly can make even more money basically at scale in a repeatable way. And therefore Series A comes after that stage and is there to do your first or second scale, mainly your first scale to your first big attempt to really start to acquire customers basically quickly and at mass. There are many sources of equity funding. Basic venture capital is only one of them. These are our investment vehicles, basically companies formed to basically invest in high risk but potentially highly valuable early stage companies. Basically other forms of investors include business angels, corporate ventures, arms of basic well-known companies. But venture capital probably dominates this space. There are a number of them. They all have different investment theses. They all invest in slightly different things, but all of them want to back companies that in future years could be worth millions and millions of pounds. probably the most important thing venture capitalists look for, above and beyond even the ability to your proposal to return capital, is the team. Do they trust the team? Do they believe you're credible, capable? Do they believe that you have some unfair advantages, that uniquely you're able to do this highly risky business and achieve success? So team, 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 team.